Yeah, you now tuned in to another episode of DreadStar Radio segment. This is your host, Ryan Face the Ace. You know what I'm saying? We got some good music and some good interviews lined up for you. Stay tuned and log on. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on the Vine, and right here at YouTube, baby. All right? One love. Bless up.
So it's good to be back here on Setting the Standard with Pedro Reyes. This is your man, Sean Brewer, a.k.a. Lionface, with this DreadStar Radio segment. You know what I mean? I want to big up my son again. Once again, it was his birthday, 9/11. You know what I'm saying? Big up, big up. You know what I'm saying? For your 14th birthday, son. Wisdom Aye, I see you, girl. Bless up. Everybody, DreadStar family, Setting the Standard family, big up. Seen? Bra.
Right on, baby. I want to ask you a question, darling. Last night I had $35 in my pocket. Did you go through my pocket? Right on, that's what I thought happened. Another question, baby. My car. You bought the car, didn't you? Did you bash the side in, baby? With the light hanging out and the wheel falling off? Right on. Right on, right on, right on. Tell me about it, did you, baby? Just left it in the garage with trash piled up all over top of it. Right on, baby. It's wonderful being married to you, darling. $35 missing out my pocket. Car hanging all on the side, but I love you, and I always love you, no matter what happens, baby. One other question, baby. The checking account, is it overdrawn, baby? Is it overdrawn, baby? Right on, is it overdrawn? There's no money left to do anything with it except just keep writing blank checks right on. It's overdrawn, ain't it, baby? Right on for overdrawn. But I still love you. One other question, baby. This man standing in the closet here with my pajamas on. Don't say that, baby. Don't say that, darling. 'Cause if it is, darling, I got to leave. Baby, I got to leave. Right on for the leaving. But I still love you, darling. And if you ever make up your mind that you want to get your people out the closet and put the money back in the account and get the car fixed and put the 35.
All right, is this a take or what? All right, okay, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, that's right. All that's good. It was 20 years ago today that Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. And they've been going in and out of style, but they're guaranteed to raise a smile. So may I introduce to you the act you've known for all these years, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Oh! Sing it, children.
We're Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Sit back and let the evening go.
Boys.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's wonderful to be here. It's certainly a thrill. You're such a lovely audience. We'd like to take you home with us. We'd like to take you home.
I don't really want to stop the show, but I thought you might like to know that the singer's gonna sing a song, and he wants you all to sing along. So let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Shears and Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Come here, pretty baby, don't you try to stall. Come here, pretty baby, don't you try to stall. If you ain't got good jelly, baby, please don't answer my call. 'Cause good jelly is something not so easy to get. Yeah, good jelly is something not so easy to get. If I don't hurry and find some, I'm afraid it will be my death. Mighty fine. Yes, I had a girl last night. She was stacked up mighty fine. Well, when I tried to get her jelly, she told me none of it was mine. Now you know just why I'm salty. I wish that I were blind. Yes, you know why I'm salty. I wish that I were blind. 'Cause if I didn't see these pretty women, that jelly would stay off my mind.
Yeah, so that was Bill Cosby and Red Fox, two comical geniuses that you guys probably didn't know that they really did do jazz and music. Red Fox doing blues, his real last name being Sanford. Okay, so today in Black History, what we have is this day in Black History, September 20th, 1984. The first episode of The Cosby Show was aired. Then this day in Black History, September 22nd, 1950, Ralph Bunche won the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, I bet you guys didn't know that. Or September 18th, 1951, world-renowned neurosurgeon Dr. Benjamin Carson was born on September 18th. Also, September 17, 1967, actor Malik Yoba was born in Bronx, New York. September 16, 1983, Webster star Emmanuel Lewis premieres on ABC on September 16th. You know, NBA champion Jason Terry was born on September 15th. So it's just a few little things, you know, that DreadStar Radio segment would like to bring to the people to enlighten some people, you know, just letting them know. Black history, you know, just not in history, it's in everybody's history, you know. So, and let's do one more. Let's say October 4th, 1864, the New Orleans Tribune is published. How about that? Okay, so for you guys that didn't know, now you know from your man Lionface, DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard, KPFA 94.1. All right, big up, everybody. Bless. Yeah, this your man Lionface, a.k.a. Sean Brewer on this DreadStar Radio segment. Yo, on the phone today, we have Jay Unco. Did I pronounce it right, sir?
Yes, sir. You are correct. Jay Unico, yes.
Jay Unico, yeah, sorry. So, go ahead and tell the people what you do, man. Enlighten the people and enlighten your community on what you do and what you bring forth to us.
Well, I just want to say good evening to the Bay Area and good evening to my brothers, my warriors up there in the Bay handling it on the radio. And my name is Jay Unico. I'm from LA. I do music and I travel, do a lot of journalism, and I'm a single parent to a little warrior queen, just real active in making sure that I share that message and most importantly, just listen to people around the world and see what's going on in their part of the world and really just do my best to transmit that message and really just be the best person that I can be so that we can all be solid examples within our community. So I do my best to reflect that God light within my spirit and let it shine real bright like the morning sun. So that's what I do, and I do lots of music. I have tons of music out there, and tomorrow I have a new project that drops, and 2 weeks after that I have another new project, just dropping tons of good, conscientious soul food for the people.
Oh, okay. So when you say you do journalism, like what kind of journalism?
I focus on people that are doing something positive. Like there's so many outlets for people that do all kinds of things, so I don't think they really need my help. But because I've traveled so much around the world and I've been writing for so long, I really focus on people like, for example, Capital X. He's from New York by way of Puerto Rico. And basically he walked from New Jersey to Texas to protest the death penalty, for example. So he would be an individual that I would feature, do articles on, feature his videos, develop a rapport with people like that so that whenever they have something dropping, I make sure they have media outlets to further expose, you know, their hard work and their positive message. So I do a lot of stuff like that. I'm really specific on who I might help because they got to be doing something positive. Been doing that for a long time because bottom line, these gatekeepers, not unlike yourselves, but these gatekeepers, you know, they have their format and their own agenda, and that's fine. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time, I'm going to make sure that I build a real solid rapport with people like yourself and Payaso is a longtime brother. I've known that brother for a real long time, and anything that we can do to elevate this exchange, keep building bridges around the world and connect people with each other. And I just think that's really important because if within our community, if we're solid within our individual homes, if we're solid within our families and our seeds and our partners, if we keep it tight like that, then it's just a ripple effect outwards so that our communities are that much tighter and have a better understanding of what one another goes through on a day-to-day basis. Because as a system, as you know, it's so designed to make us fail, and it's so designed to keep us separated. So when they do put us in the system, they keep us so separated via race. But what's really cool is music and art really unifies people of all backgrounds. And so I'm here as just another vessel to further fortify that. So that's really my motivation for all of this.
No doubt. I haven't never personally heard any of your music yet because, you know, Pedro just introduced me to you, you know, so he just set the standard in my head about you, you know what I'm saying? Can you tell the people what kind of music, and me too, and what kind of music do you sing about, like, you know, what's your, I won't say genre because I don't want to pigeonhole you, But what kind of music do you set for the people?
Well, it's largely hip hop. I started off singing in punk bands, so maybe that is an example of how I'm a little different. But it's definitely hip hop, and I rap and sing. Even though I might do some melodic stuff and some feel good stuff, I think I'm probably more known for that hardcore adrenaline. So I definitely kick that reality rap, that ghetto gospel, if you will. I just go real hard. I mean, people tell me that I don't sound like anybody out there, period, which that's very humbling, and I appreciate that. And I have 10 projects, 2 official albums on iTunes, but 10 projects altogether. Tomorrow, I'm going to drop a project called Greatest Trips, which is basically like a D-Day style mixtape of songs, hooks and verses, and rare music I've done for features, international features and stuff over the years. So it's going to be released tomorrow, all mixed together to make 20 songs. So I've been doing that. I have a ton of videos that are out. And right after Greatest Trips drops, I have another project called The Fire Within. And basically it's a mixtape that I proposed the challenge to myself to write and record a full mixtape in 7 days. And so that was really fun. It wasn't so much the writing part, but just being able to lock in on the studio time. So I did that in 2.5 days, basically. So that was a lot of fun, and I just keep going hard. I love doing what I do, and I think that a lot of times people provide that go hard soundtrack, and I like it. I appreciate it, and I respect it, but I really just can't relate to just how they speak about women and, further discussion of, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with me. I understand it's a reality in the inner city and outwards. I get it. I understand. But at the same time, in an effort to elevate myself and also just put out a good message too, and just try to do my part so that music is balanced. I provide a go hard soundtrack to really overcome obstacles. That's kind of like my lane, I guess, if I can say so myself. Just overcoming obstacles, feeling that strength inside of you, and making sure that you never feel weak, even when you do. Always finding that silver lining in all situations and obstacles, so that you turn a negative into a positive. You turn that anger into fuel to get to the next stage. So that's really what I like doing, and people around the world seem receptive to it, which is very humbling, and I appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun doing it. It's definitely therapeutic for me as well, I'll be honest with you.
Okay, no doubt. Well, can you tell people in closing, like where they can find you at, or when is your next show, or YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? Can you let all the people know something?
Yeah, definitely. You can find me all over the internet. My name is JEHUNIKO. I'm on all these social sites, the Fedbook and Twitter and whatnot, and definitely YouTube. I've got a bunch of videos on YouTube, so you can check me out on that. And I have just a bunch of music about to drop. I have a formal studio album called Bittersweet that I've been working on for a long time, and it's got some pretty big name producers and features and whatnot. So I've just been really just cooking that real slow. Meanwhile, just dropping free project after free project. And you can also check out my brand new website. It's junico.com. And I just want to shout out Illuminati2g.com. And I want to shout out my girl Rachel out there holding me down. Definitely have some shows coming up. Next show, I think, might be in Europe. I have a European tour that I'm working on, and I'll definitely be all over the States as well. Just waiting for my album to officially drop before I book a tour. But just a lot of things cooking,
Speaking of cooking, so, okay, you didn't know this about me. I'm a culinary student, but, however,
nice.
That being said, yeah, so did you eat dinner tonight yet?
I had a light snack of hummus and zucchini.
Oh my goodness, was it fried zucchini?
No, just like raw, just out the refrigerator, cut up.
Wow, with the hummus.
Yes, sir, garlic hummus. So if you're a culinary expert, one thing that's To be quite honest, I don't really touch on it a lot.
I'm not an expert yet, but I'm pursuing expertise.
That's really important, because what I find happening is with the economy and squeezing that blood out of a rock, we really have less and less options as far as how to feed ourselves. And one thing that I've always been really strong about, I felt real strong about, is just my health and making good eating decisions, good food decisions. And especially if that's your area of focus, I know that you know way more than I, but I think it's really important for us to really watch what we intake so that we can further be that stronger warrior with more stamina and more strength and just really being on point. Because I feel like as a society, they want to dull us down. So if they're giving us some like $1.99 complete meal at McDonald's, I'm like, okay, great. I feel full and I don't need to eat for 3 weeks. And then probably I'm going to cut off 3 weeks of my life just because I saved, $8 on food. But I think that's something that's really important. And I know that because of the platform that you guys have, I know that you guys are sharing constantly many conscious messages and just giving people insight. So I just want to shout you guys out, and I really appreciate what you and Pedro do, because you guys have done it for so long. And I just really respect that with all my heart. And I want to thank you for even caring to give me a call and check in with me. It means the world to me, and I appreciate you like that.
No problem, Jay Unico, man. Well, I'm going to tell everybody, to go look for you on YouTube, Facebook, in Europe, catch you in Europe, catch you on one of your tours, Mr. International, you know what I'm saying? So, in closing, this is your man, Lion Face, DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard with Pedro Reyes. Yo, this is your man, Jay Unico, right? Yo, thank you, man. We're going to do a follow-up interview with you, man, just to let all the people know that we've been following you and we stay real and true to you and supported you, okay?
Word. Can I also just shout out real quick my brother Wilson from East Oakland Radio. He's a common friend of Pedro and I, and perhaps you know him, but he's a real good friend of mine. He's the one that originally linked me with Pedro. So I want to shout out that brother as well.
No doubt. Shout out, brother. Brah, brah. Shout out.
All right, peace, man.
All right, Jay, I want to go. Peace, man. See you later, man. Hasta luego.
Okay, peace.
Peace. Yeah, so this is your boy Lion Face here on DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard with Pedro Reyes. Yo, on the phone line today we have my guy DJ Jacques from WBLK Massive. Yo, wagwan, Jacques.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, really good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, you too. So, I'm just on the lighter side of thing. I just wanted to, get people to listen to, interview a DJ, as opposed to an artist or something, and see, what's going on with the DJs.
Yeah, I take that as a huge sign of respect. I got DJs don't mind backing up the artist, love backing up the artist, love laying in the cut and just keeping grooves moving, but. Yeah, I love the idea of you interviewing DJs and asking, whether it be what's hot in the dance hall or what's the business like. I love the idea, man. I love to see DJs get a little bit more shine.
No problem, sir. So WBLK Massive, tell the people where you started that at and how they can get it. What does it entail? The whole massive thing that you have created there, DJ Jacques.
WBLK, the real short answer is BLK is my crew in Boston from when we were growing up. Radio stations on the East Coast, or I guess east of the Mississippi, start with W rather than K. Like out here, you got KPFA out there. They got KRP in Cincinnati, whatever. So we just made be a radio station. In my mind, WBLK is basically like if radio were dope on the East Coast, at least. This is what it would sound like. But what we got moving is basically just keeping Monday night entertainment popping. We're coming up on 13 years of doing that, and that really kind of roots us. We got a lot of other we do the weekend gigs and the other things. We play the King of Kings over there at the New Parish on Sundays. Sometimes that's one of my favorite places to ever be in the Bay. But yeah, we just do Monday night entertainment and keep it moving.
Yep, tell the people where Monday Night Entertainment is though, man, because that's one of the largest reggae north reggae dancehall jump offs?
I don't know whether it's the largest or whatever. I mean, it's not.
It's something. It's massive, though.
It is massive, but it's massive love. Edutainment is obviously a tribute to KRS-One and the movement that he started. When they said, what do you want to call the night, when we first started it in really May of 2001, I didn't want. They were like, we call it reggae night. I was like, nah, man. The genre of the music isn't important. If we feel like playing soul music tonight, I'm gonna play Hour of Soul. It's a combination of education and entertainment. We're gonna play the stuff that folks want to hear in the club as like the things they expect, but that's just a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. And the medicine is the artist that they may not have heard of. Like if we're playing soul, I'm gonna throw in some Donny Hathaway. If we're playing reggae, I'm gonna play the Burning Spear and the Sizzla and the things that you expect, the bigger names, but we're also going to bring in the artists that we think are really saying something, young artists like Winstrong or Kabaka Pyramid, there's just Gappy Ranks. There's so many folks that people don't know who they are, or, they don't know the name. They might recognize some of the songs, but edutainment for me is really about trying to get shine to some folks that haven't gotten it the way I think they deserve and they've been working towards, and also to give the people, some good food, not just like the quick stuff that they're used to getting.
Right, indeed. Yeah. So feed them it's like music for the soul. What you play is like no pun intended. Like when you say soul music, but I've been there, and you will play like just a massive thing. You know what I mean? Just different. Or a whole gumbo, or you know what I'm saying? If it's reggae night, you break into some like R&B or something to hype the people up real quick, or you know what I mean? I like that.
As much as I understand the need for terms, for genres, really all of the music all the music comes from the heartbeat, comes from the Nyabingi rhythm. Whether it's folks that are in Iceland and Ireland hitting their drum, it's still a heartbeat. It's still originally the Nyabingi. It's the Nyabingi rhythm that comes that is basically in every music. So to me, it's all soul music. Hip hop is two turntables and a microphone. You can say that goes back to from Kool Herc bringing that in New York. That goes back to Jamaica with the cats over there with two turntables, toasting, and a microphone. But before that, it was and every single genre has a tie to all the others that came before it. So to me, it's all soul music. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, no doubt. So if you guys ever get a chance and you're up north over that way, definitely stop by on a Monday night. It's Monday Night Edutainment with WBLK Massive, DJ Jacques and DJ Guac. What's up with Guac, man? Is he doing those crazy films those portraits that he does from the sky?
Yeah, you did the Monday Night Edutainment jingle better than I could have done it. It was perfect. All the information every Monday at the Hot Monk Tavern in Sebastopol. What's up with Guac? He's not doing as many videos as he was. He's an ill photographer, an ill DJ. But honestly, he's been kiteboarding every day. He gets up, at an unreasonably early time for a DJ, goes out there and gets on a surfboard with a kite attached to him, big kite, and he's flying in the air, man. The guacamole is flying.
Yeah. So what are some of the hottest artists that you been working with, like within the last, let's say, 6 months?
That's a great question. The two artists that I just mentioned in terms of young artists. I mean, Kabaka Pyramid came through here. We did some work, and I've been telling people that he is, to me, like the Nas, like what Nas, the energy and intellect that Nas brought to the music when he came out on Live at the Barbecue with Large Professor or with Illmatic. The energy that he brought and the intellect and power and fire that he brought is what I see in Kabaka Pyramid.
Wow.
I'm absolutely blown away by this young artist. And I'm working with Winstrong on, we did a tribute to legends, the Ganja Refix, which was 13 tunes of what, Temptations, Ray Charles, James Brown, Blackstreet, and we did that project, and we're now working on a second one, another tribute to legends, where we're flipping up old tunes and putting a little refix, a little Ganja Refix twist on the lyrics, and he's just got an amazing, super versatile voice. Winstrong is one of the artists that's really been bringing fire in my view. Those are the two that really pop for me right now.
Okay, no doubt. I can appreciate that. Yeah, no doubt. So, like I said again, let people know where they can get you on Facebook or contact you for DJ gigs, because you are one hot reggae DJ and you spin other stuff too. But, I just wanted to shout you out. You know what I'm saying? DJ Jacques, you know what I'm saying? Every time I hear you spin, I always have a good time wherever I'm at and I'm listening to you, no doubt.
Word up, man. Give thanks. WBLK Dance Hall Massive. You look that up on Facebook, you'll find me. I have a DJ Jacques page, we got a WBLK page. But really, if you want to come check us out, come out to the Hot Monk Tavern on a Monday night. Monday night entertainment. We've had everyone from KRS and Capleton to, recently Protege and Gappy on the same night. We've had Tanya Stevens, Yellow Man a few times. We get all kinds of artists that come through, and then we have all the DJs, our family of DJs that come from the Bay, whether it's Pam the Funkstress or Jaw Warrior Shelter, my brother Smokey, Curious. We got a lot of folks that come through, and we just rotate family, all family every Monday. So, any of y'all want to come up from the East Bay, we'd love to see you.
Yeah, so if y'all never heard it, y'all heard it here first. Yeah, this is your man Lionface, a.k.a. Sean Brewer, a.k.a. Lionface, DreadStar Radio, DJ Jacques. Don't forget about Monday Night Edutainment, WBLK Massive. Yo, I want to give y'all a shout out to everybody, all the artists that he named, you know what I'm saying? Winstrong, Kabaka Pyramid, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jaw Warrior Shelter, Irie Dole, All the Massive, Curious, Selected Curious, New Parish, DJ Smokey, you know what I'm saying? And the rest I didn't mention, still big up. Sin? All right, Jacques, one love. Sin?
Yeah, let me say one more thing.
Yeah, man.
I really want to thank the radio DJs for linking up club DJs and spreading the word about what's going on in the dance halls, and to all the people that are out there supporting the weekly events, whether it's, a dance hall event, a hip hop event, a bluegrass event, whatever the event is. If it's a weekly event that's happening in the Bay, the folks that go out and support those nights, we really love you and we really need you, because this music, we're trying to feed you, we're trying to feed our kids. Everyone's living off this, and it's a really beautiful scene that we have in the Bay. So thank you to everyone that's helping keeping it vibrant.
Yeah, and I want to second that motion. Lionface. Yeah, rah. We out, Jock. Sin?
All right, big up, man. Peace.
Big up, bless. Rah. Yeah, so one more time, I want to thank DJ Jacques and Miss Yuri Holly for giving their opinions on what's going on in the community, and last but not least, Mr. Ephraim Walker, telling us about civil rights and some of our civil liberties, and even if we don't believe in certain things, or even if you don't believe in the Constitution or inalienable rights, or however you living or walking around, even if you don't believe in it, trust me, it has a bearing on what happens to us. It has a bearing on what happens to our kids and what's going to happen in the future. So, when you're making a vote or passing a bill or writing a bill or something like that, read it first. It's a contract. Read it first. It might not really be for you or for your people or your community, whatever you holding firm. Seen? All right. This is DreadStar taking you out of here. Okay, we're going to play some of that smooth Kabaka Pyramid.
All I hear them a talk about a war and crime and pollution and them economical solution. Sure, we no want no capitalists. I suss them out with I'm and chalice. And we no want no big business plan. We no want no promise from the UN. Hear me now, just take a look how the world is a handful of man run the world business. For 2,000 years them a plan this. It's so deep them no care if me sang it. Them deep with science and I use it against we people say we meant we go through this. But poverty is no accident. Them mashing up the world with them roads and cement. We no want no capitalist. I suss them out with I'm and chalice. When me on ya, and we no want no big business plan. Never know, and no more promise from the UN. Once again, yo, them no sister that them killing us rapid. Billing up crap with them stimulus package. Pharmaceutical greening up happy through the supermarket. Only fill up with acid. Them said them can't afford to plant it. When we competing with the overseas market, me say fi, that's where the IMF contract and free up the youths, make them try and get punch up. Cause we no want no capitalists. I suss them out with I'm and chalice. No, 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 no. We no want no big business plan. Telling you, yeah, and no more promise from the UN. Hey, hey, hey. When everything gets so commercial, the progression of evolution take a reversal. We used to be spiritual people now. Fit the money, some do literal evil things. Man, a lot of our people things. Some stealing rings and chains, hoping that things will change. But it will all remain the same if that Babylon still a reign. Rasta no want no capitalist. No, no, no. I suss them out with I'm and chalice. Yeah, yeah. And we no want no big business plan. And we no want no promise from the UN. Never, no, no, no. Kabaka Pyramid, Chimney Records.
So this is your man Sean Brewer, aka Lion Face, with the DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard. Today on the phone we have with us Ephraim Walker. Ephraim Walker is he works in a civil rights attorney building, John Burris and everything. He's going to give us a little definition on civil rights and what he does in his daily life. All right, how you doing, Mr. Walker?
I'm doing good today, Lionhead. How are you, man?
Oh yeah, man. Everything is good. Everything is good. All is well. So can you let the people know what you do, sir?
What I do is I work in a civil rights firm, basically defending the rights of the people. When the Founding Fathers wrote the Constitution of the United States, they granted people certain inalienable rights. I think the ones people know most are life, liberty, and property. And then essentially what we do is we defend the Constitution, and so people have a right to certain freedoms granted to them from the first 13 amendments of the Constitution. And these apply to any person, race, creed, color, sex, and in fact certain classifications of people are even more protected now because of the efforts of our forefathers. So most people know about the civil rights movement, which happened during the 60s, and essentially the civil rights movement came about because even though the Constitution stated that we hold these truths to be self-evident that all people are created equal, right? The laws weren't being carried out that way. There was, Jim Crow in the South, segregation, voting rights acts, and all of that stuff that was making the system unfair. And so our forefathers went and fought so that every human being would be guaranteed those rights granted to them by the Constitution. And so a lot of what we do now is essentially protect the people from the tyranny of the government. And most time that comes in the form of police. So it's like police brutality, police, killing young men, unlawful searches and seizures, even to extreme acts of police being corrupt and, planting drugs and planting guns on people to ensure that they go to jail. We basically stand up for those people that have no voice to stand up to the police.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty much interesting right there. So as far as police brutality, because that's basically been going on ever since we've had that Constitution. You know what I mean? Right. So how is almost like skating uphill? No.
It is, man. I think that civil rights as a practice really is relatively new. People really started taking notice of civil rights, at least in the way that we practice them with Rodney King. and that was a case that, my boss John Burris worked. That was something that he and Johnny Cochran had originally started on, and the area of civil rights, and John got one of the first big cases, which was the Rodney King case. But I mean, police brutality against blacks goes back to the heart of slavery, and the foreman and the slave driver who oversaw the slaves. That's essentially what the police became after a while. They were the ones that would hunt down the runaway slaves, and a lot of black men have and still are to this day, killed by police more than any other segment of society. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say it's an ongoing fight, and what we try to do is let people know that they don't just have to lay down when something happens. If they've been, taken by the cops and illegally arrested or killed by the cops, so that's what we would call like an illegal seizure, and that's a seizure of the person, and it goes against one of our most fundamental rights, which is the right to life. So when the cops kill you and they're not, they don't have adequate provocation, and they've violated your right to life.
Yeah.
So things like that. Those are the kind of things that we argue in court. We use, the Constitution to defend.
Oh, to defend people. Exactly. They're basically their words against them or something.
There has to be more than that, right? Most times there's usually a witness, and we build a case. It just happens in civil court as opposed to criminal court, because people can't prosecute each other or the government, right? But we can sue each other for like monetary damages and injunctions and stuff like that. But we can't like put each other in jail. That's up to the district attorney's office in each county.
So what are some of the civil rights that we actually have that like most people don't know, because most of us aren't educated on that specific topic. So how can what are 2 or 3 things that we don't know really, that's really invading our space or our civil liberties?
I think it just depends, I think one thing that, because a lot of these areas are like up in the air, and so, for example, like a lot of people just don't know that like it's not okay for a cop to just come up to you and ask to search you. They have to have some sort of reasonable suspicion that you're involved in some sort of criminal activity for them to even approach you. And I think a lot of people, because living in the hood, it's like you don't really get that option. I mean, the cops can walk up to you and search you at any time.
Right.
You can't really say much, but that's actually a violation of your civil rights. But the cops will, lie sometimes and say things. Say, oh, he was making furtive gestures, or he was in a high crime neighborhood and he appeared to be, holding drugs, and they'll use that to search you. But a lot of times, that's why, like, when you get, arrested for something, it's good to have like a good lawyer, because they'll challenge all of those violations of policy.
But I mean, good lawyers are prevalent, but how often can we afford those in our inner city communities, in the low, in high crime areas, but low paying areas as well?
Well, I mean, I think that at least in terms of protecting your rights, you want to talk to attorneys that will take a case on a contingency basis, which is like what we do in our office. So if someone has like a good case, for example, a person comes into contact with a police officer, and through no fault of their own, the officer beats them up really bad or kills them. Well, in that case, a good civil rights attorney, can probably sue on behalf of the person whose rights were violated, and probably win some money. And so they take the case on a contingency basis, meaning they only get paid if the client gets paid. And that really works for, our client base, because I think that, a lot of our people just can't really afford to, take out a vendetta against the cops that could drag out 3 years and cost them $100,000, right? Like that's not justice, and most people can't afford that. And so I think a lot of civil rights attorneys will take cases on a contingency basis to allow people to get some help
right
by the government.
So, speaking of police brutality and civil rights and all of this stuff, you have another. There's a high-profile case that you've worked on, and it even spawned a movie, if I'm correct, right?
That's correct.
What can you tell the people and let the people know what that was or is?
Yeah. So that was the case of Wanda Johnson versus Barry Rappahannock District or BART. And that's the Oscar Grant case. I think people know the story, but if not, January 1st, 2009, a young man named Oscar Grant was pulled from a BART train, and in the course of being arrested, he was laying on his stomach with his hands behind his back. He was shot in the back one time by a BART police officer and ultimately died. It was a tragedy. It was caught on film, and people had a lot to say about the case. And ultimately, it was something that I saw while I was going to school at USC, along with a friend of mine named Ryan Kugler, another friend of mine named Gerard McMurray. We were all buddies in film school. I was going to law school as well at the time. And, after I got out of law school, I took a job working with John Burris, and I started working on the Oscar Grant case. And Ryan Kugler had already told me that he wanted to make a movie about Oscar Grant. So when I got hired to work for Burris, got back in touch with Ryan, and we ended up developing a screenplay that went on to become this movie called Fruitvale Station. That's doing pretty well in theaters right now. So kind of like a dual role. I served as a consultant producer on Fruitvale Station, and I still do some work as a civil rights attorney also.
Okay, so you're an educated black man. That's danger to society, brother. Watch out. No, yeah, wow, yeah, because that's interesting. In fact, I had Jack on here not too while ago, and Jack's two sons were on the platform with Oscar, correct?
Yes, those young men are actually clients of our firm. They have a case pending in federal court right now that I just won on appeal, which is, part of the Wanda Johnson versus BART case. It's actually, I believe it's Jackie Bryson Jr. versus BART Police. So yeah, those young men, were affiliated with Oscar Grant, and they also are still embroiled in legal controversy with BART after 4 years. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing that they would have to keep going through that and, keep going to court, just like rehatching old wounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really unfortunate that it happens, but that's kind of the nature of going to court, man. It takes forever, and I think that's what turns a lot of people away from litigating these long cases,
True. So that's good, man. Thank you for letting people know what, a little bit about civil rights and civil liberties and, what you do. But I want to ask one more thing in closing, Mr. Ephraim. What did you eat tonight already?
Did I eat tonight?
Yeah, because I'm a culinary student, man. I'm trying to break into, this cooking thing. So I wanted to know, what I'm saying, what you had on your plate.
I had barbecue tri-tip, some barbecue chicken, and some baked beans, and potato salad. We had a little barbecue today.
Woo! Was the potato salad good? Wasn't too hard?
It was cool. It was store-bought, man. I need some, I'd like to see, if you could whip something up, because I don't really believe in store-bought potato salad,
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, I know you eat tabbouleh, man. I could make some good tabbouleh. It's Mediterranean, man. Tabbouleh, hummus, all of that. I'm learning salads right now, salads and dressings and stuff. But I've always been able to grill and stuff, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a man. Like I'm not much of a cook, but I can't barbecue. You know what I mean? That's one thing I learned from my dad.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, I want to thank you, man, one more time. You know what I'm saying, for coming on this DreadStar Radio segment here with me, Lion Face, and on this Setting the Standard program. Man, we'll keep in touch. You know what I'm saying? On some recipes or something like that. All right.
Okay, sounds good, brother.
All right, Mr. Walker. Thank you very much.
All right,
Hey,
thanks for reaching
hey,
out.
once again, this is Ephraim Walker. You know what I'm saying? Can you tell them where to get in contact with you in case we have some people out there who might feel their civil liberties have been invaded on or something like that? Can you help them out?
Yeah, if you're having any issues with police or anyone who works for the government or even like your employer, we do employment rights work as well. It's the law offices of John Burris, so you can look us up online at www.johnburrislaw, and Burris is spelled Burris, and the office number is 510-839-5200.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you. Once again, that was Mr. Ephraim Walker. You can get him at the John Burris offices. Just log on to johnburris.com. And then once again, this is Setting the Standard with Pedro Reyes. This is the DreadStar Radio segment here with your man, Lionface. Big up, Mr. Walker. Thank you very much, man.
All right, man.
Bless up.
as I say. Do 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 as I say.
You can play me, no problem. Get it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, ja, 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 ja. In the years very tight.
You're now tuned in to 94.1 KPFA Berkeley, 89.3 KPFB Berkeley, 88.1 KFCF Fresno, and online at kpfa.org. We'll now get back to setting the standards. DreadStar Radio segment here with Pedro Reyes and Lionface. Bless. Okay, so we're back. This is DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard with Pedro Reyes. Yes, this is your man Lionface. On the phone with us today we have Miss Yuri Holly. She is with the ATU 1555. She is the chairman of station agent representative, right, Miss Holly?
Right. I sit on the executive board of ATU 1555. I am the station agent representative.
Okay. Now, if you will, can you tell us a little bit about the events you had? You had a community event yesterday. I would like for you to tell us a little bit about that, and then maybe lead into, like, you know, the BART talks, you know, what's going on with the BART and how can it affect the people? How's it affecting you and your lifestyle and what's going on and everything, okay?
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yesterday we had a wonderful celebration. It was our community unity event at Rainbow Center on Seminary and International Boulevard. Reverend Buford of Allen Temple Baptist Church, the prophetic justice minister, was there to do the invocation, along with Adam Bluford. I'm sorry. As we all know, his son was killed by OPD. And we were actually out there with the community promoting awareness because labor is under attack as well as the communities that we serve. We had food yesterday. We fed about 200 people. We also had jumpies and basketball games and things for the children in the community. And we also had a bread giveaway as well. And the reason we were out there basically is because labor and the communities go hand in hand. I mean, if there aren't any good paying jobs in the community suffers because you aren't able to keep the community flourishing. And then what happens is it deteriorates. So it goes hand in hand, and we wanted to promote that because what I've been finding since we've been out with the strike and the issues of ATUs actually represents the station agents for BART. So what I've been finding while I'm getting out speaking with different workers is that a lot of them are angry and they blame us and say that we shouldn't make or have the benefits that we have. So the reason that we were out promoting yesterday was that we wanted to educate other workers as well as the community to know that they deserve to earn a living wage, which they can work in the community, live and work in the community that they serve. And after you give someone 20 or 30 or 40 years of your life, you should be able to retire with dignity as well as a nice pension and medical benefits so that you can live out your golden years with dignity.
I understand that and completely as well. So what are they talking about in the BART strikes? Like, you know, is the public being led astray, or what's going on in the media? Is it true what's going on in the media, or?
Well, BART has a huge PR machine, and they've launched a PR campaign to basically generate and incite the public anger against the worker. They said that they've offered us a 10% raise, but that's actually not. That is so untrue. Right now, with what they've offered us, would leave the average BART employee negative $1,400 annually. So when they say they've offered a 10% raise, they want to take 10% of that raise, and they want us to give 7% back to pay in our pensions, which we opted out of Social Security many, many years ago. I believe it was 1980. So a lot of people don't know that we don't even get Social Security. And part of that was that they were going to take on the pension responsibility. So now they want to give us this raise, and then they want to put the obligation on the worker and release themselves from it. And then also on top of that, they want to raise our medical premiums by almost 200%. So, I mean, I would understand if BART was in the red, but they're not. They're in the black. And in our contract in 2009, they said that they would have $200 to $300 million deficit. Well, coming out of this contract that just expired July 1st, that we negotiated in 2009, it was the opposite. They had a $200 million surplus. And now ridership has grown to 500,000 riders a day. So our BART has remained recession-proof. We're not broke like the state of California, and like many other businesses who have suffered a downturn in this economic downturn. That is just not true for BART. but they're trying to take advantage of the situation that's nationwide. And the state mediators, as well as Governor Brown, say that we should align ourselves with the rest of the state and the rest of the nation. That's not the case, because in Silicon Valley, when they were having a dot-com boom, no one even wanted our jobs, and they didn't want to align us with those people there making $1 million a year. So I think that it's totally unfair for them to try to push this agenda on us. Oh, and I also want to mention this as well. They hired a negotiator with a history of racial discrimination in his background, which is just egregious. And I can't understand a progressive state like California that's allowing this person to still be at our negotiating table, because he settled Thomas Hawk, who is BART's chief lead negotiator. He settled a lawsuit in Phoenix, Arizona, with 9 employees for $450,000. And these are court records that can be proven. But some of the statements that were made at this place of business, were things like, well, you know, if we could, we'd do to the blacks what Hitler did to the Jews. We just gas them. And to me, that is just totally inappropriate. And I don't understand why mainstream media hasn't caught on to this, and why no one's questioning this. And if we are the progressive state that they say that we are, and we pride ourselves on being, how is the state of California letting this go?
Wow, that's interesting. I never even knew that. I just seen what I've seen on TV. You know what I mean? And I mean, he looked like he could say something, but you know, I'm not one to judge. You know, but dang, if you say if it's on public record, then you know maybe the public should look into that and then you know inquire about this person or about this whole situation and the way the votes are going or whatever, you know, however it's swayed or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, the major networks don't want to hear it, and the reason they don't want to hear it is because BART has a lot more money than the union. So, I mean, and that's what I say again, BART is spinning its PR machine, and it's at its best right now, ramping up. And we've told, you know, I personally left packages on every major news van, because when we're in negotiations, which I'll be in tomorrow, and by the way, they're moving us into the basement tomorrow because that's more tactics again, to stress us out and gain
Wow,
leverage.
in the basement?
Yes, we'll be at the basement of the Caltrans building tomorrow because they said our other room wasn't available. And the closer that we get to the deadline, the conditions will probably get more severe, just severe, because like there's no air conditioning, there's no windows. So tomorrow we're going into the basement. I can only imagine what the basement is going to be like.
Wow.
And then we get in there with the state mediators, and we're
It's
not
like a mental
allowed.
strategy?
It is. No, I'm waiting for them to waterboard us next.
Wow.
I mean, this is what's going on, and this is in the state of California under, you know, our Governor Jerry Brown's mediators, and they're doing this. But the media, mainstream media, they don't want to go against Governor Brown. They don't want to go against BART. So no one wants to hear our story and our plight. So now my point of view, and that's why we did the community outreach, is because we've got to take it to the streets. So, and the next event that we're going to have is going to be October 6th, where we're going to converge on Fruitvale Station. And basically, we're going to try to shut it down because there are two things that are going on here. It's not just about the contract. This is a war on class, on race, and all of these issues need to be addressed. And that's why I chose Rainbow Center for the event yesterday. One is because I was raised in East Oakland, not far from there, and I played there. But Rainbow envelopes everyone. And then this was the precursor to the Rally Part 2, which we had Rally Part 1 at Frank Ogawa Plaza, August the 1st, with Danny Glover and Adam Buford's family was there, and just, you know, a bunch of organizers and also workers from Walmart that aren't organized, because we're trying to start a movement here. Because, for one, people of color are under attack. These public sector jobs were created under Title VI, which is the Civil Rights Act. That's how we were able to get these positions, and now they're trying to take them. They've already taken our homes, so now they're after our jobs. And essentially, this will create a society of the haves and have-nots. So, don't sleep on this because, we've all got complacent and we think somebody else is minding the store. But, you sleep for too long, you look back and there'll be no more store.
Right.
So it's, it's the inequalities, the injustices on people of color and the working class. And all we can do is educate, 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 educate. Teach one, reach one. And we've got to take it to the streets. And we can't win this alone. Because this year is the 50-year anniversary of the MLK March on Washington, D.C. We're still fighting for the same things right now. Because right now, voter registration rights are, up at stake at different states now, and they're trying to take them away. And if they succeed in taking our rights away to vote, we will not be part of the future because we will not be able to vote on the future. So these are things that we're trying to promote awareness on and educate, because instead of us being angry with each other, we need to question the establishment and the powers that be. And we need to align ourselves together because there are more of us than there are them. Remember, we're the 99%. Okay? But, if we're not educated and we're not organized and we're not aligned together, because believe me, they're organized and they have an orchestrated plan that they're executing, just like they did with the housing market. Now it's with labor. If we don't wake up and we don't stand up and address this, again, we will become a society of the haves and have-nots. We'll be here to serve them.
True. Okay. Wow, that's an eloquent point. I appreciate that. I'm sitting here like, wow. All right. So, okay. When is the next time that you'll be organizing another event as such, or where can we come and rally in support of you? Or, some of our listeners may want to come and rally in support and, show their support for you and stand in solidarity with you. You know what I mean? Can you tell them where to reach you, or, how to reach you, or where to go?
Oh, absolutely. We have a website. It's called We Make Bart Work. Actually, for myself, I can be contacted at SA as an S SAM or S station agent, S and then S station A agent at ATU1555.org. Contact me there, link up with me, and then I can put you in the roster and all of our events. I can go ahead and shoot the email to you, put you in our email chain, and then keep you abreast in the loop of all the goings on. So I'm sorry, it's a little late and it's been a long week.
Yeah, no doubt. No, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah, but and again, the community has to come together. The other thing that we're doing too is that, see, when the fatality happened with Oscar Grant, and this is really sad, because if you look at Bart, okay, upper management is probably 90% Caucasian, and the mid-level management is probably 80% people of color, and then you have the workers, which is us. And they're probably 80 to 90% people of color, too. So what they've done is they put middle manager, first-level management, and they're the gatekeepers to keep us in check, in line. And then they report to the upper management, which is 90% Caucasian. And, no pun intended, but our assistant general manager, his name is Overseer.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are a whole bunch of components that are going on here. So when the Oscar Grant fiasco happened, me as a single-parent mother, growing up in Oakland, as many of my counterparts have, I've lost a brother. I've lost a cousin. I've buried many of my own. It's time for us to start taking care of our own. So that's why, and when this thing happened with Oscar Grant, we were infuriated too, but we couldn't speak out or say anything because we would be reprimanded because we can't bring reproach upon Bart. And, right now, me saying this, there's a target on my back for me saying this, but since I am a union rep and I am advocating for the union, I'm allowed to speak up where others cannot. So we felt what the family felt, what the community felt, because we are that community. See, we're not them. But then, when the city was burning down and they had the riots at 12th Street, I was actually the station agent there. So we're evacuating everybody else. Guess who's left there to deal with that aftermath? Do you know how many times I was cursed out and told that I am the reason for the annihilation of the black man? And they don't know that I've lost my brother. I've lost my cousin. They don't know that. But then you have upper-level management, and they keep us there to keep the public at bay when all of this is going on. And now in labor contracts, they treat us just as bad as they treat the community. And that was the reason why we had the community unity event yesterday, to let them know that labor is under attack and the communities that we serve are under attack. Because when they cut service on AC Transit, AC Transit is also in our union too. It's part of our amalgamated transportation because we're all under the same ATU. When they cut service, who does that hurt? The lower socioeconomic. The people in Lafayette aren't riding AC Transit. The people in Dublin Pleasanton aren't riding AC Transit. The people in San Francisco that can afford to live there, they're not riding AC Transit. When Muni's cut, who does that hurt? The lower socioeconomic group. Okay, so this is a system that's designed for us to fail, and it's flawed, and this has started since the beginning of colonization. Since the beginning of colonization. And it's the same. All this is institutionalized, industrialized slavery. Not much has changed. So they're just politically correct about it now.
Right.
And they and they don't kill as many of us anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm really passionate about this, and this.
As you should be. You're speaking for people in a community as well. You know what I mean? So your passion is probably equally. I mean, to me, I can feel your passion. I'm passionate about a lot of things I do. So I know, just as you being the chairman, of that part of the union, that you should be, and all right, it's all right for you being that passionate.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So thank you very much, Miss Yuri Holly. I appreciate you for stepping forth and telling us and informing us, the community, about what's going on that side of the world that you live in and are on, right? You know what I mean?
Right. No, I appreciate the opportunity and you actually giving me a platform and a voice to speak on the matter, because as I told you, mainstream doesn't want to hear this, but they will when we organize and we get enough people out here. They will no longer be able to ignore us.
Oh yeah. No, I understand. And platforms here, this is DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard. That's what we do. We set a standard. You know what I mean? So it's not just that. We want to open up. We want to be the voice for our community just as well as you are for yours. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Holly. Like I said, again, this is Sean Brewer, a.k.a. Lion Face, on DreadStar Radio segment here on Setting the Standard. And we'll do a follow-up interview with you, okay?
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Yeah, so there you have it. That was Miss Yuri Holly. You know what I mean? She's the chairman of station agent reps over there for the union. You know what I mean? She's very passionate, And, you know, she was here, DreadStar Radio segment, setting the standard, your man Lion Face in the place. Let's get to the next person. And, shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the station agents, you know what I'm saying, and BART representatives that's on the cool side of things, you know what I mean? All the ATU 1555, you know what I mean, who stood up there on the platform for Oscar Grant and those who couldn't speak, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for even just being who you are. You know what I'm saying? We see on the TV your safety is being at risk and all of that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? We just want to give a shout out to all you transit drivers, AC Transit, ATU, all of y'all. Big up. Ra from DreadStar Radio. You know what I mean? Your man Lion Face.